It's story time. It's story time. Come on, gather around because it's story time. Welcome to the story time. With me, we're gonna read books. We're gonna have some laughs. We're gonna smile today. We're gonna have a lot of laughs because it's story time with Nina. Story time with Nina. Story time with Nina. Story time with.
Well, hello and welcome to the month of October, or as I like to call it, Halloween month. Ha ha ha! I have to say, this is a really big month because we're celebrating Halloween, we're celebrating creativity, we're celebrating friendship, we're celebrating my friend's birthday. It's my friend Patricia's birthday on October 1st. So I say happy birthday, Patricia. I hope she's watching. And if she isn't, send her all the love in the world because she's the best. Now, we get to be together, we get to hang out, we get to read stories, and we get to talk about the things that are so important to all of us. And today, we're kicking off a brand new series for the entire month of October where we share spooky, fun, silly, wonderful, awesome stories about autumn and Halloween. Now, what are you going to go as this year for Halloween? I decided to kick off this Halloween month because I'm going to be dressed up as a pumpkin. Yeah, I'm a pumpkin. I'm a crazy pumpkin. I'm crazy Nina Pumpkin. And I'm so excited that I get to be a pumpkin with you. Someone said they're going to be a dragon. That is really cool. You know, when you're dressed up for Halloween, you can be anything you want to be. That's the best part about it. Now, depending on where you're at and you're watching this, maybe you're like where I'm at, where the weather's getting a little bit chillier and the leaves are turning colors, beautiful browns and reds and oranges and purples, and they go from the green to those gorgeous colors. Maybe you're in a place where it's warm all year round and you don't see any leaves change colors, but you still notice the season because people are putting up pumpkins on their porch, or maybe they're decorating their house with orange and purple lights and getting ready for trick or treat. Sure, things look a little different this year, but we're still celebrating, and I can't wait to celebrate with you. Now, one of my favorite things to do every time when we get ready to read a story is to celebrate the letter, because we can't have our stories without these incredible letters. Right? So stories are filled with words, and words are comprised of letters. What do you think today's letter is? I'm proud to say we're kicking off the month of October with the letter. Drum roll, please. It is the letter P, 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 P. The letter P, P, P. P, 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 P. No, there's no booing. There's no hissing. No. You know why? Because the letter P is full of magic, especially during the season of pumpkins and Halloween and fun, and that's what we're celebrating. P. P is the first letter in a word like pumpkin. Pumpkin. Whoa, look at all these pumpkins. Pumpkins. They're crowded the screen. I like pumpkins. Look, and I have a cat right here who's sitting on top of a pumpkin. It's like meow and stuff. Meow on the pumpkin. And then look right over here, right over to the side of me. This is a whole giant pumpkin. It's like, P is for pumpkin. P is also the first letter in a word like potion. Ooh, I have a book right here. It says spells, brews, and potion. What do you think we can concoct with a potion? That makes me think of one of my favorite seasonal Halloween movies, Hocus Potions. That's not it. It's Hocus Pocus. The Sanderson sisters. And they make a really magical, special, powerful potion, and it's amazing. You have to see it if you haven't seen it. It's really good. P is also the first letter in a word like pirate. Arr! When we read our ones, arr! That's right. Anybody can be a pirate. You can have a girl pirate, a boy pirate. Anybody can be a pirate. Arr! Give me your best R's. 1, 2, 3. Arr! I ain't hear you. 1, 2, 3. Arr! P is also the first letter in a word like. He's here, the Phantom of the Opera.
My name was a little courtesy.
The Phantom of the Opera. You know, Phantom of the Opera is a really famous music. Well, it's a very famous story by an author named Gaston Leroux. And it became a very famous musical by Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber. And when I was a kid, it was the very first musical I ever fell in love with because it's about this man who lives in the catacombs of the Paris Opera House. And he falls in love with music. And he loves it so much that he sings all the time. La, 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 I'm the Phantom, I'm the Phantom, I'm the Phantom of the Opera. Can you sing Phantom with me? La. Let me hear you. Opera Phantom. La. Oh, that sounds so good. P is also the first letter in a word like prince and princess. Prince and princess. Prince and princess. Anybody can be a prince. Anybody can be a princess. Sometimes I'm a prince. Sometimes I'm a princess. I'm like, I don't know what I'm feeling like today. Let's do one or the other. I don't care. I don't care. P. P is our letter today, and it's for a fantastic and wonderful book that I'm so thrilled to introduce to you right now to kick off our month-long celebration of the fall season and Halloween, and of course my friend Patricia's birthday because it's Patstober. You can say Happy Patstober, Happy Patstober, and we also can say Happy Halloween. And our book today is called Pumpkin Soup by Helen Cooper. Helen Cooper wrote this lovely story called Pumpkin Soup, and I'm so excited to share with you today. Now, one of my favorite things to remind you of is that we share stories for all of us. So make sure you have a snack, a sippy, cuddle up, and let's have story time with Nina. This is Pumpkin Soup by Helen Cooper. Deep in the woods, there's an old white cabin with pumpkins in the garden. There's a good smell of soup, and at night, with luck, you might see a bagpiping cat through the window, and a squirrel with a banjo, and a small duck singing. Look at that neat old house, and you can see right in the window, there is a cat playing the bagpipes, a squirrel playing the banjo, and a small singing duck. Pumpkin soup, the best you ever tasted, made by the cat who slices up the pumpkin, made by the squirrel who stirs in the water, made by the duck who scoops up a pipkin of salt and tips it just enough. And if you see in those photos, you can see the cat chopping the pumpkin, the squirrel stirring the soup, and oh my gosh, the duck puts in just a pipkin of salt. Just a little bit of pipkin, pipkin of salt. And then if you look at the picture here, look, my friend JJ, who's with me always. Hi, JJ. JJ's sharing. Look at that beautiful picture. And they're making pumpkin soup. Oh, have you ever had pumpkin soup? It's delicious. The soup is ready. They slurp their soup. They play their song and pop off to bed in a quilt stitched together by the cat, embroidered by the squirrel, and filled with fine feathers from the duck. And it's peaceful in the old white cabin. Everyone has their own job to do. Everyone is so happy. Or so it seems. Dun, dun, dun! Something's going to happen. But look, they're all in bed, tucked away for the night. Everyone's happy. Or so it seems. Page turn. But one morning, the duck woke up early. He tiptoed into the kitchen and smiled at the squirrel's special spoon. "Wouldn't it be fine," he murmured, "if I could be the head cook? Quack." He drew up a stool, hopped on top, and reached until his beak just touched the tip of the spoon. You can see he's trying to go after Squirrel's special spoon. What do you think of that? Do you think he should be on top of the stool, reaching for the spoon, or don't you? I don't know what the answer is. I'm just asking. Uh-oh. Ker-plunk! Down it clattered. Then the duck trotted back to the bedroom, held up the spoon, and said, "Today's my turn to stir the soup. Quack!" Uh-oh. Cat doesn't look too happy in that picture, does the cat? The squirrel looks a little squirrely. "That's mine," squeaked the squirrel. "Stirring is my job. Give that back." "You're much too small," snapped the cat. "We'll cook the way we always have." But the duck held on tight until the squirrel tugged with all his might. And whoops! The spoon spun through the air and bopped the cat on the head. And the cat said, "Meow." Then there was trouble. A horrible squabble. A row, a racket, a rumpus in the old white cabin. Look, you can see the spoon falling right there on the screen. You can see the spoon falling and hitting the cat on the head. Whomp! And if you go to the next picture, look out, because the squirrel, the cat, and the duck are not getting along. Page turn. "I'm not staying here," wailed the duck. "You never let me help with anything." And he packed up a wheelbarrow, put on his hat, and waddled away. "You'll be back," stormed the cat, "after we've cleaned up." And the squirrel shook his spoon in the air. Ha ha ha! But the duck didn't come back. Not for breakfast. Not even for lunch. "I'll find him," scoffed the cat. "He'll be hiding outside." But I don't think he was. And the friends were missing their friend the duck. "I bet he's in the pumpkin patch." But the duck was not in the pumpkin patch. They could not find him anywhere. Quack! Things aren't looking good, are they? So they waited all that long afternoon, and you can see them, waiting on the porch, waiting and waiting and waiting. What do you see? I see they got their hands crossed and they're wringing their hands, and squirrel goes inside and the cat goes inside, and they sit by the clock. Cat holds the bagpipes. Squirrel looks sad. The cat watched the door. The squirrel paced the floor. "That duck will be sorry when he comes home," they muttered. But the duck didn't come home. Not even at soup time. The duck was missing pumpkin soup. Oh no. Look at this picture. What do you see? I see a squirrel crying. And I see the cat crying. And I see the duck's chair empty. And a giant bowl of pumpkin soup not being eaten. The soup wasn't tasty. They made it too salty. They didn't feel hungry anyway. They both sobbed over supper, and their tears dripped into the soup, and that made it even saltier. "We should have let him stir the soup," sniffed the squirrel. "He was only trying to help," wept the cat. "Let's go out and look for him." I don't know about you, but I'm really worried about our friend the duck. And you can see, if you look in that illustration on the side of the page, the cat and the squirrel go out into the middle of the woods in the dark. The cat and the squirrel were scared as they wandered down the path in the dark, dark woods. They feared for the duck all alone with the trees and the foxes and the wolves and the witches and the bears. But they couldn't find him. If you look at the illustrations going from the cat's head to the squirrel's head, you can see there are witches and foxes and bears, and it goes to this big picture. Oh, look at that picture of what they think their friend, the duck with the pumpkin, and all of those big predators waiting for him. And then they imagined, maybe a strong wind blew it away. On and on they trudged until they reached the edge of a steep, steep cliff. Maybe he fell down that, wailed the cat. Oh, save him, squirked the squirrel. And he scrambled down on a long, shaky rope. He searched all around on the ground, but he couldn't find Duck. This has me very concerned for our friend Duck. Wherever could he have gone? Well, look at this. It was this soup made Duck famous. How does he do it? They go in thin, they come out fat. Duck's Kitchen. Look at all of those animals lined up and the duck stirring the pumpkin soup. Then the cat whispered in a sad little voice, Duck might have found some better friends. He might, sighed the squirrel. Friends who let him help. And the more they thought about it as they plodded back, they were more certain that they were right. But when they were almost home, they saw light shining from the old white cabin. It's Duck, they shrieked as they burst through the door. And they did. And there was Duck, as you see in the illustration, sitting there with his hat on the floor. And Duck was so happy to see them. He was also very hungry and thought it was too late. So they thought they would all make some pumpkin soup. Oh, look at this. Splash, stir. Oh my goodness, they're making all the pumpkin soup. When the duck stirred, the cat and the squirrel didn't say a word. Not even when the duck stirred the soup so fast that it slopped right out of the pot. Not even when the pot got burnt. Then the duck showed the squirrel how to measure the salt. And the soup was still the best you have ever tasted. So once again it was peaceful in the old white cabin until the duck said, can you see it in the corner? I think I'll play the bagpipes now. Oh no! Here goes the squirrel chasing after the duck for playing these bagpipes. No. This is great. This is a great, wonderful lesson. That really, we all have things to do, but sometimes it's awesome to share the responsibility. If someone wants to try another job, let them. So if it's making cookies or pumpkin soup, or helping mom and dad, or mom and dad in the kitchen with something, or cleaning the house, whatever it might be, don't be afraid to trade some of the work off and let somebody else try it too. That's what's fun about working together and being collaborative. This is a pretty great story. Just like you're pretty great. This is pumpkin soup. Now, I'd like to close the episode out with a very special video that's going to follow right after this. Don't forget to go big, to be kind, and to always be you. Thank you for joining me for another story time with Nina. I can't wait to see you next time.
You are wonderful.
You're one of a kind, like a lucky star. You light up my life, so keep on smiling, keep on shining. Go big, be kind, be you. Now sing this to someone you love, someone you think is very special. You are wonderful, you're one of a kind, like a lucky star. You light up my life, so keep on smiling, keep on shining. Go big, be kind, be you. Anytime you're feeling sad and blue, remember you're special, 'cause there's only one you. You are wonderful, you're one of a kind, like a lucky star. You light up my life, so keep on smiling, keep on shining. Go big, be kind, be you. Thank you for singing with me, and always remember just how special you really are. Go big, be kind, be you. Go big, be kind, be you.